and you think she's not interested. She doesn't flirt hard. She doesn't chase. She keeps it calm. So you assume there's nothing there. But there's one subtle behavior most men completely ignore. And if you catch it, you'll realize she's been thinking about you far more than she ever lets on. You think she doesn't like you. Listen, you think she's not interested. You're reading the signals all wrong. You think that distance means disinterest. You think silence means she's moved on. But what if I told you she's been thinking about you more than you realize? And here's the part that's going to sound crazy. The colder she acts, the more obsessed she might actually be. Stay with me because this gets wild. Most men miss these signs completely. They give up right when she's starting to obsess. They walk away right when her brain is working overtime trying to figure them out. But there's the one sign men overlook. One specific sign that reveals everything. And when I tell you what it is, you're going to replay every interaction you've had with her. Why women hide strong attraction. You're going to see patterns you completely missed. I'm going to show you the hidden signals that reveal she's thinking about you constantly, even when she acts like she doesn't care, even when she seems cold or distant, even when every surface-level sign says she's not interested. And here's what nobody tells you. There's a psychological phenomenon that happens in a woman's brain when she's attracted to someone but trying to hide it. And once you understand this, you'll never misread her signals again. But first, we need to talk about the biggest reason women hide their thoughts. The mistake you're probably making right now. The painful confusion. Why everything you think you know is backwards. Picture this. She takes hours to text back. When you run into her, she seems casual, almost too casual. She doesn't initiate conversations anymore. And when you're together, she acts like you're just another person in her day. You start questioning everything. When she's genuinely thinking about you, she studies you. Your body language, who you talk to, how you carry yourself. You might catch her glancing your way in a group, setting or notice her eyes following you across the room. But here's the key. She looks away the second you make eye contact. That instant look away isn't disinterest. That's her getting caught in the act. In the digital world, this shows up differently. She's viewing your stories within minutes of you posting. She's liking old posts from weeks ago. She's checking your profile when she thinks you won't notice. Why does this matter? Because attention is currency. Where her attention goes repeatedly, her mind follows. But here's what most guys don't realize. If she's watching you secretly, she's also imagining scenarios with you. Conversations you haven't had. Situations that don't exist yet. That's not casual interest. That's obsession. Sign number 2. She remembers small details you mentioned weeks ago. Now this is where you'll start seeing the pattern. You casually mentioned you had a presentation coming up. 2 weeks later, she asked how it went. You told her once about your favorite band. She brings them up in conversation like it's no big deal. You might think, okay, she's just being nice. She has a good memory. No. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Most people forget the majority of what you tell them within a day. That's just how human memory works. But when someone is thinking about you constantly, they're replaying your conversations. They're storing details. They're building a mental file on you. And here's the crazy part. She probably doesn't even realize she's doing it. Her brain is subconsciously prioritizing information about you over everything else. If she remembers that you don't like olives, that your sister's name is Emma, that you have a scar from a childhood bike accident you mentioned once in passing, she's been thinking about you way more than she's letting on. But sign number 3 is where things get really interesting. Sign number 3. Her friends know about you and they act strange around you. Here's a dead giveaway, and it's one of the most reliable signs. Her friends mention you, or when you're around them, they exchange looks with her. They might tease her subtly or act like they know something you don't. Maybe they smile knowingly when you walk into a room. Maybe one of them accidentally says something like, "Oh, so you're the guy," and then catches herself. Women talk to their friends about the people occupying their headspace. It's how they process attraction. If her friends know who you are without you having spent much time around them, that means you've been a frequent topic of conversation. She's asking them for advice about you. She's analyzing your texts with them. She's telling them stories about interactions you've had. You're living rent-free in her mind and in her group chat. And when her friends start acting different around you, it's because they've heard enough about you to form opinions. They're invested in whatever is happening between you two. Now we're about to get to sign number 4, and this is the big one. Sign number 4. She initiates contact randomly, then disappears again. This is the sign that confuses men the most, and it's also the most powerful indicator she's obsessed with you. Here's what happens. She'll text you out of nowhere with something random. A meme, a question, a "this reminded me of you" message. Something that seems low stakes. You respond. Maybe have a decent conversation. The energy feels good. You think, okay, maybe she is interested. Then she ghosts again for days, maybe even a week, and you're sitting there thinking, what just happened? Did I say something wrong? But here's what's actually going on in her head. She reached out because she couldn't stop thinking about you. The urge to talk to you built up so much that she had to make contact. But the moment she did, her fear kicked in. Wait, am I being too obvious? Is he going to think I'm desperate? Am I giving him too much power? So she pulls back, not because she lost interest, but because she's trying to maintain control over her emotions. This is called approach avoidance conflict in psychology. She's drawn to you but scared of what that means, so she compromises. She reaches out just enough to stay on your radar but pulls back before she reveals too much. And here's the part that proves she's thinking about you constantly. The time between. Her random messages follows a pattern. It's not random at all. She reaches out right when she thinks you might be forgetting about her. Right when the silence has lasted long enough that she worries she's lost your attention. If she wasn't thinking about you, she wouldn't track the gaps. She wouldn't care about staying present in your life. But she does, because you're always somewhere in the back of her mind. Now let me show you the remaining signs. Sign number 5. She gets slightly different around you compared to others. Pay close attention to this one because it's subtle but everywhere, once you know what to look for. With most people, she's one way. But with you, something shifts. Maybe she's a little more guarded. Or maybe she laughs a bit harder at your jokes. Her voice might change slightly when talking to you. She might touch her hair more, fidget with her phone, or break eye contact quicker than normal. These aren't just nervous habits. These are stress responses. And stress in this context doesn't mean she's uncomfortable. It means you affect her nervous system in a way others don't. When someone genuinely doesn't care about you, they're neutral. Their body language is relaxed. Their energy is flat. It's the people who make us feel something who cause these subtle behavioral changes. And if she acts more guarded around you than others, that's actually a stronger sign than if she acted flirty, because she's protecting herself. People don't build walls around people who don't matter. Sign number 6. She tests you. And most men fail without even realizing it. She'll say something to gauge your reaction. She might mention another guy, casually to see if you get jealous. She'll cancel plans to see if you'll react emotionally or stay composed. She might go cold suddenly just to watch how you respond. Will you chase? Will you get angry? Will you stay calm? These aren't games for the sake of games. These are unconscious tests. She's trying to figure out if you're secure enough to handle her, if you're emotionally solid, or if you'll crumble under pressure. When a woman is thinking about you seriously, she needs to know you're for real. And testing is how she finds out. And that brings us to sign number 7, the one that reveals exactly what you should do next. I know this isn't easy. When you care about someone, you want clarity. You want her to just tell you how she feels. But attraction doesn't work that way, especially not for women, who are protecting themselves from getting hurt. So pay attention, trust the signs, and most importantly, trust yourself enough not to force the outcome. The biggest mistake men make is falling apart in uncertainty. The man who can sit in uncertainty without crumbling is the man every woman is looking for. If this video helped you see things differently, drop a comment with the word aware so I know you're paying attention to the real signals, and hit that subscribe button because we're going deeper into understanding attraction in ways most people never will. The next video is going to show you exactly how to turn curiosity into action. If you want to understand more about how your mind works, click the video on the screen right now.